Jamison Williams returns to the Detroit Lions. And I know a lot of you guys who are going to see this video on playback are going to be like, we don't need any. My favorite thing that I get from the comment section is when somebody tells me what we don't need. I think it's hilarious. I mean, none of us are Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. This is all in good fun. But I tend to be more right than I'm wrong when it comes to this. And I think because I am looking deep into the team, not just the surface level of the team. Now, as far as that is concerned, am I ready to take my foot off the AG gas? Not yet. Not yet. He's got the number one ranked run defense. Our defense is pretty high. He spent last year with a top ranked defense. But I just want to see that go on longer this year. But the purpose of this conversation is I think that even with the return of Jamison Williams, we need a wide receiver, right? We've been talking about it for about 5 or 6 months. Antoine Green has 1 catch for 2 yards. Marvin Jones has 2 catches for 8 yards. He hasn't even caught a pass since week 1. Like literally it's been the entire month it's been almost 1 month when we play the Carolina Panthers. It will be 1 month since Marvin Jones caught a pass, right? We talked about Mike Evans. Well, he's got a hamstring issue. I don't know the severity of it. We talked about Devontae Adams. I think that is preposterous. I don't think that the Detroit Lions could do that. And we also talked about T. Higgins. He's hurt. So is Devontae Adams. I don't know the severity of their injuries, but a month from the trade deadline, I'm not sure. I don't know. But there's been a guy that has kept coming up, kind of quietly connected to our team through rumors and such. And then I hear from my Denver guy that the Denver Broncos could be trying to offload wide receiver Courtland Sutton. Now, this guy fumbled twice in their 70-point loss to Miami. They might be trying to ship him off. And I wanted to get your opinion on Courtland Sutton. He's 27 years old. He is a 2018 second-round pick. Let's take a look at his stats thus far in 2023. Not too bad. Not too bad. He's got 20 receptions, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns this season. Let me finish. Courtland Sutton signed a 4-year deal. This is from Spot Track. $60.8 million with Denver Broncos, including a $6 million signing bonus, $34 million guaranteed, and an average annual salary of $15 million. This year, Sutton will earn a base salary of $14 million and a roster bonus of $500,000 while carrying a cap hit of $18 million and a dead cap value of $25 million. And here we are right here. Just signed a new deal, not an unrestricted free agent for another 2 years after this season. His contract is a little steep for me. But what worries me about Brad Holmes, and I know he's the GOAT, he's doing all this stuff, he's great. I was watching a documentary today about the life of a Lions fan. Shout out to the guy that created it. I'm going to try to have him on the show once if I can get my system working. And we talked about the past general managers. And when you look at them, the Martin Mayhews, the Matt Millens, when you look at those guys, Brad Holmes in his 2.25 years, is doing more than like they did. Bob Quinn, right? The Bob Quinn era, we can forget about that because he brought us Matt Patricia. But I see Brad Holmes going after someone kind of second tier. I don't think Courtland Sutton is a first tier wide receiver. That could just be me. Devontae Adams, even though he's older than Courtland, I think he's better. But the price tag is ridiculous. I don't know. I'm looking at the cash. Denver would have to want to take that hit. I don't know. But according to my Denver guy, They could be trying to offload Courtland. So my question to you is, would you want Courtland Sutton on the Detroit Lions? Does Marvin need a change? What does that say? Does Marvin need to change venues? Is that what that says? We need a 50-50 wide receiver in the red zone. Courtland Sutton is good. Where did you get the Lions neon sign in the back? Okay, Devin, I will talk to you in a second. Go get him. He needs a change of scenery. Bring him home. Marvin Jones has better chance to catch a cold than football. That's funny, bro. We have too many offensive weapons to trade for another offensive weapon. Now, I like that. I hear what you're saying. And that's actually going to lead me into a new segment that we'll talk about later. I don't think you can ever have enough of anything, defense or offense. You can't have enough of it. But I will just give you a little teaser as to why a move like this could happen. Brad Holmes is ready to win, point blank, period. He thinks we can compete. And I keep going back to that because when you talk about GMs, you got to read between the lines. And sometimes you got to look at their history. Brad Holmes is known for not spending a bunch of money and not giving out a bunch of years on his contract, right? On any contract. 3 years tops. David Montgomery got a 3-year deal. I think Cam Sutton got a 3-year deal, right? But a lot of these 1-year guys, the Khalif Raymonds, the Josh Reynolds, who came in on 1-year deals, they had to earn their way up to a 2 and a 3. Two things he hasn't done. He hasn't given out more than 3 years, and he hasn't given out a ton of money. Courtland Sutton is probably too high. Then you're talking about trade capital as well. I don't know. If I'm looking at the price tag and the age, my wide receiver of choice based on price tag and age would be Mike Evans. He's kind of like in that Keenan Allen, over 30, but still a dog, right? If you look at youth, you're going to talk about T. Higgins. If you want, to me, 20, how old is he? Courtland is 27 in 1 day. So his birthday was yesterday. He literally turned 27 yesterday. That's crazy. So let me know down below, Courtland Sutton, if he is indeed on a trade. And I think there is some truth to the trade. I don't know how much truth there is to the Detroit Lions, but I feel like because if we trade for Courtland Sutton, this is the plus. And this is why I could see the Detroit Lions doing it. Mike Evans, not on a deal. This is the last year. T. Higgins, I can't remember if this is the last year, but he is going to cost a bunch of money. The Denver Broncos have a potential out after this year in Denver. Courtland, if traded, would be a Detroit Lion for the next 2 seasons. But then when his time was up, he would be 30 years old. And check this out. According to what I heard from my Denver guy, the new team is going to have to eat some, like Denver's going to have to help them out. Remember what I think the Lions did something with Stafford or Goff. The Rams paid a little bit of this or something like that. That's what's going to happen for us to take him. I just don't think right now, if healthy, if he'll be ready by the trade deadline, I think it's Mike Evans. But let me know your thoughts on Courtland Sutton.